While we are talking about burnouts, we need to talk about the root causes that lead to those burnouts. Some leaders burn out not because of their leadership, but rather because of their overcommitment to things other than leadership. For example, when they feel that they have to carry their team rather than developing the team so that the team can collectively carry themselves. You see, as I've mentioned earlier, leadership is a combination of traits, and you need to be proficient in multiple areas in order to be a successful first-time leader. If you find yourself overcommitted to many different areas, then it means that you're not giving yourself sufficient time to rest and to learn and improve as a leader. Because your leadership is not just about doing, it's also about learning, resting, and self-care. What is the best use of your time right now? It is probably to develop potential leaders in your team so that they can carry more of the team's workload, and making yourself redundant so you can focus on other areas. One thing that I've learned is that your burnout as a leader really doesn't have much to do with your leadership itself. It has a lot more to do with your overcommitment to other areas. For quite a fair bit of this video, I've been talking about your why, acknowledging that your leadership is about the people who follow you and the people around you, and your need to exercise self-care. Yet I've come across other opinions where even if you are not 100% in your mind, body, and spirit, it's still possible to push through and lead 100% of the time. Here's my view. If you are not 100% in mind, body, and spirit, then you don't have 100% to give as a leader. So not only is it important to take time for yourself, even when things are busy at work, being 100% could also mean eliminating distractions at work and in your personal life. Your ability to lead at 100% each day depends on your willingness to ensure that you are 100% in your mind, body, and spirit every day. 1. Knowing your why and being clear on that reason keeps you motivated in your leadership journey. The depth of your why is going to help you overcome one challenge after another in that journey. 2. Your why for being a leader might be about you, but your leadership is about those who follow you and those around you. When you accept and acknowledge that, then your reason for leading becomes bigger. 3. So if your leadership is about those who follow you and those around you, then you have to understand and appreciate that leadership is a team sport. It is the collective strength of the team that in turn impacts your leadership. 4. There are many challenges in your leadership journey. Focus on appreciating the small wins. Focus on the journey rather than the destination, and that will keep you motivated in overcoming the daily challenges on that journey. 5. Leadership is a combination of traits, and you have to be proficient in multiple areas in order to be a successful first-time leader. And that means that you need to grow as a person in mind, body, and spirit in order to adequately grow as a leader. 6. Burnouts are typically caused by overcommitment to things outside of that as well. And so you need to make sure that you're putting time into developing your team so that they can take on more of the team's work, making yourself redundant and giving yourself then time to focus on your leadership. 7. Finally, your ability to resist burnouts comes from a willingness to accept that it is more about we rather than me, and that you can lead at 100% when you yourself are at 100%. If by now you haven't yet figured out the key takeaways that you need to adopt in order to stay motivated and to prevent burnout in your leadership journey, I'm going to list them out to you right now. Number 1, your why for being a leader is crucial. Without a doubt, that why serves as the foundation block for your leadership. I've seen leaders who have gone on to manage their second or third teams, but they're stuck as frontline leaders and are unable to progress into middle management. If you acknowledge that leadership is an iceberg, then you have to realize that in order to be a successful leader, you need to be proficient in multiple areas in your life. So you need to keep developing yourself until a point whereby you can achieve that breakthrough and be seen as a capable leader higher up the hierarchy. And to go through all that, because leadership is a lifelong learning journey, you need to have a very clear and deep why. Number 2, variety is the spice of life. You need to have multiple sources of inspiration in order to stay motivated in your leadership journey. So some of these sources of inspiration that can motivate you could be seeing the positive impact that you have through your leadership on those around you. Finding inspiration in podcasts, reading books, or even listening and sharing with other leaders. It's these different sources of inspiration that's going to keep you motivated in different times throughout your leadership journey. 3, burnouts happen anywhere in life, leadership or outside. When you find yourself overly committed to too many things, then you put yourself in a position where you risk burnouts. And it normally starts with that sense of overwhelm over a prolonged period. So what I'm trying to say here is that it is the overcommitment to saying yes, which is not so much a leadership issue, but rather a personal issue which you need to acknowledge and resolve. So make sure you put aside time for your own leadership, whether that is learning, resting, or reflecting. You may have noticed that I flashed a couple of leadership traits in this video. Those traits come from my first-time leadership research, where I've written a book about it. Pretty much the book has all the traits that you need to be a successful first-time leader. If you want to find out more about the book, there is a link in the description below. Just click on it. Also, if you want to achieve results quicker in your leadership, then consider one-on-one coaching with me. There's a link in the description below for more information. That's pretty much it. I hope the 7 techniques to stay motivated and prevent burnouts in your leadership journey will be useful for you. My name is Daniel Lee from First Time Leadership. I look forward to speaking with you soon.